Association of Ice Cream Manufacturers. That's a non-profit organization that's been in existence for this is sort of on the ridiculous side. I really am not talking about it, but the fact that although it may be voluntary, it will ultimately be compulsory from a competitive standpoint. This, of course, involves expense in manufacturing ice cream. There will be an inspector in the plant every hour of operation of the plant. Therefore, it's been estimated it's something like $65,000 per year to perform this grading function. You, Mrs. Consumer, Mrs. Housewife, will be the one who pays for something which you already know. You know when you like ice cream and you don't like ice cream. You are the best judge of the grading of ice cream, not some bureaucratic inspector.
Originally, ice cream was a standardized food, and still is a standardized food. And a standardized food must be made from certain ingredients and may contain certain optional ingredients. In April of last year, we proposed a new standard for ice cream, which among other things would allow for a more flexible approach in ingredients, allow for safe and suitable ingredients, and would also require ingredient labeling for ice cream. There were some objections to the new standards from some groups who said that the new standards could lower the quality or the nutrition in ice cream. In response to these groups, FDA studied the matter and did conclude that it was possible that the quality of ice cream could be lowered by the new standards. The new standards would have allowed more sodium caseinate in ice cream to take the place of other proteins. Sodium caseinate is a protein, but is not a milk protein as was required under the old standards and is still required since the new standards have been studied.
Would this have been more economical for the manufacturer to use?
The U.S. Department of Agriculture ran a study on the new standards, and if the new standards had gone into effect, they estimated a 2.5% decrease in retail costs to the consumer. Ingredient listing is important in order to let consumers know what is in products such as ice cream. There may be something, for example, in a product that a consumer could be allergic to, and it would be important that they would know what was in the product then.
Is ice cream just not what it used to be?
Ice cream, under the standards, is what it always was. The standards have not been changed. The nutritional quality, the quality, the taste of ice cream should be the same if the standards are followed.
Viability of Mr. Carter and his ability to stay in office for his first time. Now, it's unconstitutional. And it was all instead. Let me explain what I mean by that. And along comes an opportunist who offers to the American people change. He said he was against government. He was against Washington. And yet it appears that he has gone to Washington and got into bed, will you, with the very people he said he was against. He has been probably the most ineffective president that we have had in recent history. You know, when a man is elected to office, it would seem logical, if he had the pulse of the electorate, of the American people, that he would be able to achieve in his working relationship with the Congress to immediately put into effect and enact those programs that would solve the problems of the country, if he has that pulse. But I'm convinced, and only time will tell this, that it was a good sales job, that it was a good public relations job, and it was an opportunist that we have in office who is so ineffective.
Now, I'm sure you believe that you have your finger on the pulse of what the average American wants to have out of a president and wants to have out of the United States government. Now, what is that?
We have problems on all fronts. We have very high inflation. We have a government administration who wants to give away the Panama Canal. I want to make it a state. I want to build a new canal immediately. I don't think the American people want to give it away. I want us to halt inflation. I want full employment through cottage industries, through protective tariffs against a bombardment and dumping of foreign goods in this nation. You know, those countries that we help build the economy of, such as Japan and other areas, actually Japan, in my estimation, should be a state of the United States. We are one of the first nations in history who waged wars and won territories and turned around and gave it back to the people and helped them build back their economy, and now they displace our working people through the loss of jobs.
What are some of these other things? I see where you want, let's say, to move the United States Capitol to the center of the nation and make it atom bomb proof. I take it you believe that we may be running into some difficulties.
I believe in being prepared. I have stood on Russian soil and Chinese soil, and I have seen what those people are doing. I want this country prepared. If a bomb were dropped tomorrow morning in Washington, we would have to then go to the election box and re-elect our representatives, our senators, probably our chief executives, and many, many others. Now, the reason I want to move the capital, though, when Washington was selected as our capital, it was the approximate center, geographic center of the then 13 colonies. It's a far cry from the center of our nation today, population and geography-wise. Did you know, Bill, that the people on the West Coast, people in Alaska, people in Hawaii, have only a half day and less access to the agencies of our federal government because of the time differential? But in addition to improving our government through service to the people and access to the capital, we need to break up the regional cliques and influences from the east that have existed in this country for years. Go to Washington today, you'll find the lobbyists with their beds in the halls of Congress.
You also want to further human rights.
That's correct.
Now, in what ways do you intend to do this different from the ways previously?
Okay, basically, my program, the 50-50 deal, will be U.S. first. Us first. Now, the President administration admirably talks to other nations about human rights when we have disgraces in the area of human rights existing right in this country. There are lawsuits all over this nation filed on file and in the courts today by our Indian citizens trying to regain the lands that was stolen from them. And we have huge tracts of land, Indian trust territories, held in trust by the United States government. I want to give those territories to the individual Indians, deed it to them, correct some of those inequitable situations, because I might ask an Indian to put a shiv in his back belt and go with me to Panama to defend it. As Carter's position is, and if the Republicans, the split Republican remnants, and I plan to woo both the Republicans and the Democrats, so until 1913 that the 16th Amendment to our Constitution, legal, into the administration of Mr. Carter, the Deacon. The FBI's code name for Mr. Carter is the Deacon, so I refer to him as the Deacon.